Welcome back once again on Real Positive Vibes. This time we're gonna do things differently and we're gonna talk about fathers. I'm here with my boy Michel. Tell the people who you are.
I'm Michel John Juno Suede. My French name I created. So I'm just gonna be give our opinion and our views on the importance of having a father and not having a father and how it affects our lives.
Yeah. Well, as you know, I grew up with my father. Most of you guys, if you pay attention on Facebook, you'll see that I have a lot of pictures of my father, and I tend to talk about him a lot because he has indeed been a great role model in my life. And as I was growing up, I didn't see it as that. My father was very strict, and I was kind of vexed and things. I was like, boy, up to that. But then, as you grow up and you get older, you get to understand the value of a father. For every Father's Day, I remember when my father used to be in church and I had to say something, I always used to say, thank God for my father being there, because trust me, I was very troublesome growing up, and my father helped to channel that into a positive thing that I am today. Now my father is gone. These principles, I have to try and carry out them as much as possible, and I just want to thank him for that. I know he's in heaven watching now. He's probably smiling now, seeing that we're doing a video talking about our fathers and whatnot. But yo, that's how it is sometimes.
Well, I knew my father. My father was in the same village with us. You'd have grown up with your father in the home and grown up with a father you know is your daddy. So not having a father in my life, I took advantage of the situation. My mother is a strong woman right now, but I always think to myself that God didn't intend a woman to have that role of a man. It changed your whole perspective, it changed your mentality, it changed your mind frame, and because I didn't have a father in my life, that now caused me now to lean more upon my mother for guidance, my mother for every kind of things, which is a good thing because at the same time it helped me to become who I am today. If I had a role model as a man, I would have been much better and well disciplined. But at the same time, he wasn't there for me in my life to direct my life, to guide my life. But that still didn't stop me from being who I am today and still loving him more today. I was a rebel. Even when I became a Christian, I still didn't get the role from a father. But I was troublesome. I was dangerous. I was the worst in my village. They used to call me Stone Boy. And some people might know me for that still, Stone Boy. I used to pelt stone at people. When people pelt stone at me, I used to catch the stone when they pelted at me and pelt it back at them.
Look,
People like local animals did not stand a chance against me. I would do things, the worst thing I've done, and I'm not like that anymore, but the worst thing I've done was catch a chicken on fire and watch it burn. That was how troublesome and tormented I was. But I'm sure if I had a father in my life, that would never have happened. Because surely a real father would always tell his children the importance of everything around them. Every single thing, from plants to animals, from the importance to loving people real love, because real love is peaceful, caring, kind, and not the fake love we have now, where even children nowadays don't even have real love. They have it's a lustful love, because I sure if they had a father in their life, they would have gotten the real love. So that is how I was before. I had a fake, a deceitful love, an anger spirit. I had a desire to steal. That was one thing for sure. Most children that raise up without a father most times have a desire to steal because they do not get what they need, because the father that's supposed to be providing these things and he's supposed to be letting them know that you have to work for it. Yes, my mother's working. That's the other problem. Because she was working so much, she would not be there to sometimes guide me and not to think. When she come home and she hears, she would hit me. But then if the father was there, you know it would be, it should be different. I sure I can tell you the difference would be from getting a punishment from a father, and I can tell you punishment difference. There's a difference.
I talk about beating. My mother used to beat me. I was like, okay, but when daddy come to beat you, bro. When daddy come to beat you,
it's a different thing.
It's a different thing. Totally different. But I tell you, if you do bad in school, you get it beaten. Mommy would hit me. I was like, yeah, but when I know daddy coming to beat me, next time I know I have to try my best to do better in school, you know. You also mentioned something. One thing I noticed, like, as you mentioned a while ago, is like you getting that principle. Trust me, that's why I believe that it is very important for a girl to have a father. In that dating circle, I find it very easy to get girls without fathers versus girls with fathers. In terms of fathers, good fathers, because there are also bad fathers as well. Those who have the good fathers, it's very, very difficult to get those there. And then you see that principle kind of vibe in them. She's not like the others. She's not like them.
You realize there's a real man in her life. A man who you yourself might have to try to be a bigger standard than, because she had the real father. compared to those right now who don't even have a standard to
and
look
they're looking
upon.
for that love, that
Yeah,
kind of love.
and take advantage of these those girls.
Exactly. Trust me, principle from a father, my brother. The reason why I'm the way I am, more philosophically minded, is because of my father. You know. I remember I used to talk to my father in the room all the time for hours upon hours, you know. If my mother said, "You don't go down and sleep, boy." Back in the day when daddy was strict and whatnot, it was quite difficult to talk to him, so to speak, because he was more trying to set that foundation in us. But when he got older, he tried to get closer and whatnot. We got closer and things that make me better understand his point of view on stuff. And I always remember what my father said. He said he loved what I doing, but be very careful in what you doing. That always stay with me. I know it's easy for me to go out there and just do anything I want. You have your own mind, you can go out and do whatever you want. You check? But then you understand the principles that have been set inside you. Not just principles, but the Christian principles that he put inside you as well. Because trust me, I'll be very, very, very dangerous. boy.
You mentioned something here. You said the love of God in a father. I take the example of Job in the Bible. I sure if a father would pray with his children,
yes,
that would make a significant difference in their life. In Job chapter 1 and verse 5, Job prayed for his children because he not sure if they sinned against God. Fathers need to be doing that. Fathers need to be able to, how would you say that? Talking to other people to give them wisdom. Because a father never only give advice to his children. Because if he's going to see the good advice he gives to children going to turn out to be good, why not give it to other children? Because all of us must add up to society.
And the reason why society is the way it is, bro, is because of lack of fathers. Because I remember when I was younger, my father used to take us out, on walks, go down Glanville area, walk all four children, and go down Glanville and walk back up and things. Even one time I met this guy. I tell him, well, it's good to see you taking care of his children and bring them out like that. You know what he told me?
What's that?
He told me he saw, while he was growing up, he saw our father doing the same thing too. And he liked the way we turned out. So he's doing that for his children as well.
He saw the example.
Yeah.
He saw the example.
Yeah, he saw the example of my father doing that. But you never know who you're going to affect. And look, I see it right there. Me growing up now, I'm 20-something years. And I seen a guy emulating the same thing with his children that my father did with us back in the day.
And as he said that, that this young man spoke to him and told me so as an example. Little do you know, I am sort of a moderate person right now because of him, you know. And I'm sure it was because his father spoke to him. I remember when I first met Mr. Leaks at camp. And this dude knew that he could have seen that I was not an easy task. And I remember he spoke to me about my anger and everything. And although I didn't listen to him right away, but it stayed there. And I'm sure he could speak to me about that because his father spoke to him about maybe the way he carried himself. And at the same time, see how it comes back in life that his father spoke to him, he spoke to me, and look, I'm here today being a good example. Just as
and you talking to them.
And I'm speaking to them, exactly. That's the importance of a father. It do not, whatever a good father does, it do not only affect his children or leave the example for his children, it goes on in society. I have to encourage every young man out there who's not yet a father, especially in my generation, to be a good role model as a father. Be a positive role model as a father. Be a father who seeks God in doing whatever they have to do for his children also. While I'm here, I'm not going to also say that because my father wasn't there, that he's a bad man. It's a trend. That's why somebody must break the trend. I still love my father. And I mean now, because I got the morals from my mother. You know, women have that kind of graceful thing. They always forgiving and thing. So I picked that up from my mother, and I mean I have a good relationship with my father now. You don't carry on that anger. You don't carry on that hate for your father, because it's now I actually seen who my father is, and I am learning so much from him. All the skills he have, I have double of it. And that's the good thing about, you know, as a child, when you're growing up and you really take at least good advice, you can still make things better in the end. So it's not all that bad at the end, but I am quite sure it would have been much better if I was raised with a father.
Because most people say, oh, I didn't grow up with a father, so I can become a criminal in society.
That's foolish.
You have to have your own mindset.
Mentality.
Remember, because your father was like this or because your father was like that, doesn't mean you have to be like this and that.
That's true.
You have to beat the odds.
That's true.
You have to go against the odds and say, oh, I'm going to be better than that.
Yes.
So it's then you coming in now to raise your children in the right principles and right mindsets so that they in turn can do the same for theirs.
Exactly.
But if you continue that same way, then your children might grow up and your children might have the same mindset as you. Oh, my father doing this, and they continue that journey, and that is how society itself is gonna get worse.
Look at society now. Look at young people now.
What is lacking among most of them?
Fathers.
Fathers.
A good example of fathers.
Yes.
Fathers who loving their mothers who are their wives. You would notice that the fathers have to love the mothers of the children as their wife, not abusive.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely.
You would see these things. You would see the difference. You would see children now on social media making it so much easier to see what happened all around the world, how it affecting all children, where young men cannot talk about problems, or young men cannot properly deal with problems, where the first thing they do is pull out a knife. I sure these guys do not have a good proper father in their life. If these young girls all on YouTube everywhere, if they knew the value of love from a man, real love from their father, they would know now they shouldn't be looking for love through their dancing, all these things, because all these things for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
You think the tweaking or twerking gonna last forever?
No.
The father was there to install, to tell them, to show
That's
them
not right.
really what it is to be a young woman or to be loved. They wouldn't be like that.
Exactly.